Hey everyone, I'm Mark Sievers, and today I'm going to show you my favorite recipe for company-worthy vegetable soup. So you might think, company-worthy vegetable soup, what the heck is that? So it's my version of a beautiful, hearty pot of soup that is laden with fresh herbs, white beans, lots of vegetables, and the flavor profile is so elegant, it's so earthy. It's perfect for a quick weeknight dinner out of the fridge, but you can also make it on a weekend to entertain with. So it's a snowy day in Chicago. I have this big, beautiful window right over here, and it is snowing, and the house smells amazing. So let me kind of take you on a little journey of what I'm gonna show you today. So come into the kitchen, because here I have a nice big pot of vegetables sauteing away, and I have about a half a cup of olive oil, and I have some butternut squash, some carrots, some celery, yellow onions, fennel, and some garlic. And I have this gorgeous little rosemary and thyme bouquet sitting in here. I just like this because it's much easier than picking off all the little thyme leaves, and it's very earthy to cook this way, and I love it. All these measurements are available at marcsievers.com, and I'll make sure I link the recipe in my bio as well. So while that sautés for about 8 to 10 minutes, I'm gonna show you what I have going on over here, because it's a lot of herbs that go into this soup, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I do to prepare them. So let me give you a little overhead view. So for that herb bouquet, all I do is just take a little bit of kitchen twine, and this particular recipe, I want you to use 8 sprigs of thyme and 2 sprigs of fresh rosemary, and you just kind of lay them flat, tie them nice and tight, and with your kitchen twine, a couple knots, and that's it. All these little leaves will then come off into your cooking as you're sauteing, and this is also a wonderful little kind of bundle to tie onto a wine bottle or to tie onto a package for a little gift. I also sometimes make these and put them in the bathtub. The little side note there. So I also need lots of fresh parsley. So flat leaf Italian parsley, I think, has amazing flavor. And what I do is I just kind of sometimes I'll pick off the stems. These stems came out of the bundle a little bit short, so I'm just gonna pick off the leaves just like this. And you can actually, if you make your own veggie stock, you can save all of these stems for your stock. I make vegetable stock at home, but it's not what I'm gonna use today in my soup. I'll post another video of my vegetable stock that I make. It's kind of interesting, and I think you'll kind of get a kick out of it. It all starts in the freezer, so more about that later on. But this is a nice big pile of flat leaf Italian parsley leaves, and I'm just gonna give it a nice rough chop, just like this. I don't wanna kind of mince it too finely. I still wanna be able to see the leaves. And this, at the end of this soup, once it's ready to be served, all these herbs get piled into the soup, and they just kind of get tender and wilt a little bit, and they're delicious. So that's about a half a cup. Again, all of these measurements are at marcsievers.com, so don't worry about having to write anything down. I've got you covered. I'm adding them to a big bowl of spinach too. That's gonna also cook down in our soup. Same thing for dill. So for dill, I take my knife and I just run it along the dill fronds. This is perfect to also use in stock. And dill smells so good. It's one of Ryan's favorite herbs. He loves when I cook with it. And you can actually use dill in a lot of different recipes. I have a recipe for homemade pickles that I'll link above for you too. That's a wonderful recipe to use fresh dill in. So that's about a quarter cup. Put that right in. And then I also need some delicious fresh basil. Look how gorgeous this basil is. Huge leaves. I kind of wish I was making a caprese salad because these leaves are so big. they'd be so beautiful to layer on a tomato platter. But for basil, what I like to do is just pick off the leaves, the big leaves. And there's a few different ways you can prepare basil. Basil, because it's so leafy, if you go over it too many times with your knife, I find that the edges get, oops, wrong pile there. I find that the edges get a little dark, not pretty. So what I like to do is just roll up the leaves here, kind of like a little cigar. And this is called chiffonade. You just take your knife and you just run it right along the basil, and you're getting long, thin strips. And for salads and things, this is a perfect way to use basil. But for soup, what I like to do is then make a little pile and then just go 2 or 3 times right down the center, and that kind of breaks those long strands up, and that is perfect. So that's about 1/2 cup of basil. And I also have 16 ounces of defrosted green peas, my favorite, and 2 cans of cannellini beans. So let's go see what's happening in the kitchen. So this is looking delicious. Oh, it smells so good. I have a little bit of a cold, so I'm really excited after this video because I am going to ladle myself a big bowl of soup, climb into bed with the puppies, and have Ryan make me some tea and enjoy a nice bowl of soup. So this is perfect. This has been sauteing for about 8 to 10 minutes, and you're not really looking to get any color on the vegetables. You just want to get them nice and soft. And now roll up my sleeves here. And to make vegetable soup, you need vegetable stock. Well, I have a small kitchen. As you've seen my video, Small But Mighty Kitchen, it has some storage challenges. So what I like to do for vegetable stock, oh, that got so quiet, is I use this, for recipe testing especially, I use this Better Than Bouillon vegetable base. What I love about this is there's no big giant packaging. There's no cans and boxes. It's just in this little refrigeration little jar. And it's 1 teaspoon for every 8 ounces of water. So I need 8 cups of vegetable stock or broth. So I'm just gonna put in 8 cups of water, which you saw me pour in, and then 8 teaspoons of this gorgeous vegetable base. Sometimes, I lost count. So we'll just put in 1 more for good luck. I will put in 1 more for good luck. There we go. What I love about this too is that it really does go with all of my soup recipes. And you just kind of mix it around and see how the broth is just water's changing color and turning into instant vegetable stock. I'm gonna turn the heat up to high and get this to come to a full boil. Notice, here's my little herb bouquet. So you can see all the little leaves are starting to fall off. That's gonna be delicious. And those fresh herbs are gonna really season my soup as well. I need some salt. So I have about a tablespoon of sea salt. Sounds like a lot of salt, but soup really needs salt in order to bring out all of the beautiful flavors of the vegetables. And then about a teaspoon of freshly cracked black pepper. I'm using my favorite pepper grinder from OXO. I know I've mentioned this in other videos. It's just so comfortable. Again, I like that it has these wonderful little dials for the coarseness of pepper. If you love more pepper, put some in at the end. I really love black pepper, so that's perfect. It's about a teaspoon. I'm gonna put in about a 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flakes. Give a little heat there. That'll be delicious. And then, well, you can hear the heat getting nice and warm. And then I have 1 26-ounce can of, or 28-ounce can of beautiful plum tomatoes and all of that gorgeous juice. I've tried this recipe with crushed tomatoes in cans before, or diced tomatoes. But what I love about kind of using whole plum tomatoes in their juice, you can see here these gorgeous tomatoes, is as this cooks, you can just kind of press on them a little bit, and that breaks up the flesh of the tomato, but it still leaves beautiful, small, bite-sized pieces in it. And that just adds a great texture to the soup, but also looks really beautiful in the final dish. So you can see, just break it up just like that. So I'm gonna let this come to a boil, and I'm gonna turn it down, and I'm gonna let it simmer for 30 minutes or so until the vegetables are nice and tender, and then I'll show you exactly what I do to finish off this gorgeous soup to make it ready for serving. So it's been 30 minutes, the vegetables are nice and tender, the kitchen smells amazing, and it's time to finish off the soup. So before I add anything else, I'm gonna take out that little bouquet garni. Look at that thing. So all of those gorgeous leaves from the thyme and rosemary are now in my soup. And I have all of my green peas and white beans, and I'm just gonna add this in. And I'm just gonna let the residual heat of the soup just heat them through. That's gonna be perfect. Oh, it smells so good. I can't wait for you guys to make this at home. A few more things. Oh, this is a big pot of soup. Oh my goodness. That is called a workout. So now, I'm gonna add in my big bowl of spinach and all those gorgeous herbs. And this looks like a lot, and it is, but it's all gonna get cooked down. And I'm just gonna give you a little overhead view, because you can see how all of this just really gets perfectly cooked, just with that residual heat of that hot soup. We don't want the spinach to turn into mush. I want it to stay nice and kind of tender. It smells so delicious. You can really smell all of the herbs and all of the basil and the dill and the parsley. This is one hearty soup. So this looks perfect. I think we should taste it. So just get a nice big bowl. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Perfect. I chose a nice big bowl with a deep rim so that I can bring this into bed. Guilty. And then for just a little bit of extra flavor, some freshly grated Parmesan cheese, just right on top. And I think that is gonna be a delicious bowl of company-worthy vegetable soup. Your whole kitchen is gonna smell amazing. So I hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel and make sure to hit the little notification bell so you're notified of new videos as soon as they post. I'm Marc Sievers, thanks for watching. You can find the full written recipe at marcsievers.com. And time to go climb into bed. It's really hot. It was really hot. It's so good. It needs nothing. Have a good day. Bye, guys. Okay, I'm going to bed. This recipe and more can be found on my website, marcsievers.com. Thanks for watching.